Welcome back, students. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to determine if a shape has parallel or perpendicular sides. We're working with some different polygons here. Let's get started. On this shape, you may have a question like, does it have any parallel lines? Does it have any perpendicular sides? So what you want to look at, I like to take a crayon, colored marker, pencil, anything. And first I'm going to label. So right here, this and this, if I keep on going and draw lines here, these lines are never going to cross each other. So that means these lines are parallel to each other. So I could write AB is parallel to CD, because this is line AB and that is line CD. This one has another set of parallel lines, right here and right here. So this square, you could also say that AC is parallel to BD, because AC and BD are never going to touch each other, these on this side. Next, it might ask you about perpendicular lines. As you can see here, these corners right here make 90-degree angles. On each side, they do that. So if these lines keep going on, there is 4 corners that have perpendicular lines. So I would say line AB is perpendicular to line AC. Line AB is perpendicular to line BD. Then down here, I would say that line AC is perpendicular to line CD, and over here, I would say that line BD is perpendicular to line CD. Something I want you to notice about all of these perpendicular lines is that they will share a letter. So in the top, they both have an A. Here they both have a B. They both have a C. They both have a D. They should only share one letter. The other letter should not be the same. Whereas in parallel lines, none of the 4 letters are going to be the same. Now let's take a look at this one. On this one, we have E and F that is parallel with J, K. And then we have E and J that are parallel with F and K. Notice none of the letters match each other in each of those. Do any of these corners make a 90-degree angle? So we've got 4 corners here. They cross each other in all 4 corners, but do they make a square? No, they don't. They make obtuse and acute angles. So because they only make obtuse and acute angles, that means these lines are called intersecting lines. They have intersecting lines. But they do not have perpendicular lines. Perpendicular has to have that 90-degree angle. So on this one, we're done. Let's take a look at this third shape here. The first question is probably going to be, does it have any parallel lines? On this one, if you keep going for those 2 right there, you can see that those 2 are never going to cross each other. So yes, it does have parallel lines. It would be, and you would have to start here because this line, there's a space there, okay? So you can't go up here to this L. It would be QO is parallel to NR or RN, okay? But if I look at anything else, there's nothing else that's parallel, because even though these lines right here are both curved, if you get up here, they cross, okay? This line crosses with that line. Every place else, lines cross over each other. So none of the other lines can be parallel to each other. But we can check and see if we have any perpendicular lines. This right here is an acute angle. This is an acute angle, and that's an acute angle. So none of those are going to be perpendicular. But you can notice that right here and right here, those will make squares. And then again, it happens down here. So we do have perpendicular lines in this one and lots of intersecting lines. So I'm not going to write all of these, but one of our first perpendicular lines would be PQ is perpendicular to QO. Notice they both have a Q. Then we can do RM is perpendicular with RN. They both have that R. Down here, ON is perpendicular with QO. They both have that O. And over here, ON is perpendicular with NR. And they both have that N. So that is the different ways to label names for lines and angles in a perpendicular or parallel format using a polygon. Now let's take a look at angles. When we're working with angles, I'm going to use these same shapes so that way you kind of have an idea of what I'm doing. But I'm going to switch to blue now. When I look at this, remember an angle is two rays connected by a vertex. So this right here would be considered as a vertex, and this would be considered as a ray, and going down right here is considered as a ray. We learned that the vertex, wherever that is the letter that goes in the middle. So my A is what is going to go in the middle here. So if I follow that A each way out, there's B and C. So either way, I just put them on each corner. So this is for this one, but for this one, it would be a B in the middle, and then it would be A and D. Down here, we would have D in the middle. I follow it out, and it would be B and C. Again, it doesn't matter which way you write it, as long as that D is in the middle. And our last one, C is in the middle, and when I follow it out, I have A and D. So this one has 4 angles that we can label. This one is also going to have 4 angles that we can label, and you're going to do it the same way as this one. They're not right angles, but they're still angles. This is obtuse angle. So E would go in the middle, and when I follow each side out, I have F and J. And I'm going to do that same thing for each corner, just like I did on my square. Over here, every single place where there's 2 lines that would intersect as a point, that also is an angle. So I have an angle here, at the top, right here. I have one right there, right there, right there, and right there. Every single place I put that big circle is a place where that letter for that vertex would go in the middle, and would have two letters on each side of it that make up an angle. In these case, the angle is going to go this way and be a 90-degree angle. But over here, it's going to be an acute, and acute. Down here again, they're going to be right angles. But again, they're all angles. So you have to be able to label those using the angle sign and following your fingers from that vertex to be able to find the other letters that go on each side of that vertex. That's it. That's everything that for lines and angles for geometry.